Well, I haven't posted anything in a while, and there's just a few stories that kind of jumped out at me in recent days. And today, the Daily Beast found out that old Herschel Walker, the one-time football player and now Senate candidate for Georgia, had paid for a girlfriend's abortion. But they're always hypocrites. I mean, these people, these Republicans, or these right to life people, anti abortion people, when it's their own situation, yeah, we'll bend the rules. But for everybody else, hell no. Hell no. And let's see what they said about it. A woman who asked not to be identified out of privacy concerns told the Daily Beast that after she and Walker conceived a child, when they were dating in 2009, he urged her to get an abortion. The woman said she had the procedure and that Walker reimbursed her for it. He was pretty generous. She supported these claims with a $575 receipt from the abortion clinic, a Get Well card from Walker, and a bank deposit receipt that included an image of a signed $700 personal check from Walker. The woman said there was a $125 difference because she ballparked the cost of an abortion after Googling the procedure and added on expenses such as travel and recovery costs. And it was independently corroborated with a close friend. So this happened. And he's I think, probably in an uphill battle to take the Senate seat in Georgia from Raphael Warnock. But he has name recognition, and that's what he was hoping to count on. But I don't think he's going to win it. I think Warnock is going to get reelected. So anyway, there was that. And then a related abortion story is Planned Parenthood in Illinois is planning on a mobile abortion clinic. So they're going to go around and travel the state around the perimeter as close to a state that has banned the procedure, like Indiana, as they can, or any other state. And Missouri, I think, is another one that's close to Illinois. I'd have to look at a damn map, and I'm not going to because I don't feel like it. So anyway, they're going to get around that because abortion will remain legal in Illinois. So they could just go right on the border. Just like Ontario, Oregon borders Idaho, just like Pullman, Washington's right near Idaho. And they can yammer all they want in the state, trying to censor talk about where women can get abortions in the state of Idaho via the universities there. But it doesn't matter. I mean, they don't have that far to travel. In most cases, they could just go right over the state lines in Oregon or Washington or even into Nevada. So that's the end of that story. And then there was a woman who felt like she was violated. This is a goddamn bizarre shit. The man doesn't want her, right? Or she doesn't want him. But he wants the messages in these books, or the ex-husband wants the books with the messages from her when they were still married. And then, of course, there were some racy pictures. And the thing that's so outrageous is, anyway, I'll read it. Lindsay Marsh remembers feeling shocked and confused when she looked at the list of items her ex-husband wanted as part of their divorce. He was asking for boudoir albums, intimate images she had taken years earlier in their marriage and had given to him as a gift. They had been married for 25 years. But after filing for divorce last April, Marsh couldn't wait to get rid of the albums and didn't understand why he would want them. And it says here her ex-husband, Chris Marsh, said he wanted to keep the loving messages she wrote to him inside those bound books. Well, why the hell would you want to keep them? This is obviously an abusive tactic. Because why the hell would you want anything of any kind of loving message when you don't even live with the spouse anymore. You don't even want to stay married to him. This is an abuser tactic. It's sick. It's perverse. And what made it even more perverse was this damn judge. So, a Davis County judge made the unusual order that the woman said made her feel violated. He directed her to give the boudoir albums to the original photographer to be edited and then give them to her ex-husband. That person is to do whatever it takes to modify the pages of the pictures so that any photographs of her in lingerie or that sort of thing, or even without clothing, are obscured and taken out. Second District Judge Michael Edwards wrote in a ruling shared with the Salt Lake Tribune. But the words are maintained for memory's sake. Why the hell? This is an abuser. This is damn sick. And they had agreed on the split the rest of their assets, but this was the one thing they had disputed. She said, when she went back to the person who took the images, who was her close friend, the photographer refused to make the edits. It felt like a violation, she recalled her friend telling her, and it would damage her business and legitimacy as a boudoir photographer. So in August, Edwards instead ordered that the wife give the albums to a third party, a man Lindsay Marsh didn't know, who was a graphic designer. It's not clear from Edwards' handwritten order why this man was chosen to make the edits. Oh, for fuck's sakes. And then, when she read the August order, she panicked and called the judge's clerk's office. I just want to clarify. The judge has ordered me to give nude photos of my body to a third party I don't know without my consent. The answer was yes. And then, oh my God. And then, the original photographer afterwards agreed to alter the photos. She said her friend took photographs of each page and digitally altered them, putting large black boxes over any part of the woman's body. The inscriptions and notes remain. Why do you want them? Why do you want any of that? Except as an abusive tactic. That's even violating, Lindsay Marsh said, because those are things that were sensual and loving that I wrote to my husband and I loved. You're my ex-husband now. Exactly. They should be destroyed. The woman said the digital copies were printed out on paper, stapled together, and given to her ex. Yeah, this almost sounds like revenge porn or something. It's almost like that. I don't think he has a right to it. I think they ought to just be destroyed. But that's perverted. I'm sorry. And then the other day, there was the death of sometime actress and activist Sachin Littlefeather. And if you were alive back in the early 70s, you know all about, and you probably know anyway, but you would really remember that she went in and to the Oscars on behalf of Marlon Brando and refused the Oscar by reading a short statement. Later, she had the complete statement given to the press why Brando refused the Oscar. It had to do with purportedly, and this was for his role in The Godfather, Don Corleone. But he had said that the images of Native Americans were stereotyped. They were treated real badly in Hollywood. And so he felt and he couldn't in good conscience accept an award for a performance by an industry that exploited Native Americans or stereotyped them. So that's what that was. And there was a lot of to-do there. She got jeered a bit. There was all kinds of stuff. But you know what? And and blaming her or blaming whatever. But you know, Brando was a big chicken shit. Now, he might have been over in France, I don't know, at the time of the Oscars filming that Last Tango in Paris. That's possible that's what he was doing, and couldn't make it there. But that was pretty chicken shit to put her up to doing his dirty work for him. And Brando was always kind of a weirdo. And then there was a fairy tale that somebody who was a director of the Academy Awards had started, and I don't know why the hell he did it. His name was Marty Pacetta, and he also, I remember the name Pacetta because he helped produce, direct, whatever, Elvis Aloha in Hawaii, which was right about this same time as the Oscars, and Elvis had acknowledged him in his concert and thanked him for his work on that special. And so Pacetta came up with this weird tale that, well, she gave this speech, and then John Wayne in the backstage was so angry, so mad over it, that he had to be restrained by 6 security men. Now, first of all, I mean, the bullshit detector, of course, goes right off. Because, first of all, everybody, the whole world would have known about it at the time. There was nothing in the news, nothing about it. And second of all, John Wayne, for all his right-wing bluster and his tough guy image, he was actually a very easygoing, very nice guy in real life. He was not at all like the characters he played. And by this time, I don't know if his cancer had come back, his lung cancer, but he wasn't in peak health. And of course, he passed away 6 years later of the disease. 3 years after he made his last film, The Shootist. So it was really, this tale just got, Marty Pacetta started this tale, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, according to this writer here, because she was a historian, and she wrote about, and she wanted to know where the origin of the story was, and so she found out that's what it was. But you know, it plays beautifully with this woke nonsense now that, well, you know, Hollywood was so evil, and, you know, John Wayne was just so terrible, blah, 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 and oh, that's just like John Wayne. Well, no, it wasn't like John Wayne. And he wasn't at all like that. And if he had an opinion about it, he said it privately, maybe in a couple of interviews or something, that he didn't care for what Brando did. But no, he didn't do that stuff. That's so stupid. I can't even believe anybody swallowed it. And Sachin Littlefeather even repeated this urban legend. So, anyway, that was kind of the story there. So, you know, she had her 15 minutes of fame, and it was a controversy a little bit, but there wasn't any tale about John Wayne. Ah, God. Well, there's one born every minute that believes any kind of crap. But anyway, that is about it for me, I guess, because I don't think I've made any videos in the last week. I've been working my ass off, and my sister gave me her car. She quit driving, so I have her 2009 Subaru Forester that is it has 65,000 original miles, and it is in near mint condition. I mean, there's hardly a scratch on it. I mean, it's immaculate. I mean, she was anal about that stuff, and I'm not so much that. Now I'm going to have to be anal there, because I'll still be running into my sister, and, you know, run into her every now and again, or visit her at her place where she lives. But yeah, she had to retire. She decided to retire from driving or having a car. It was costing too much in insurance. She's 86 years old, and although she's fully capable of driving, and she's a licensed driver, she just decided, no, it's time before anything bad happened. So anyway, that's kind of all I have to say for today.